We got ourselves team 1. Team 2, actually. We got ourselves Des. We got ourselves Fisher. We got Fisher. We got Ebib. Wait, is that actually the name? Ebib? Ebib? I don't even know. You got Yandex as a Frost DK and Daphne? Close enough. As a Shadow Priest. So we got ourselves team Agility with a bit of sprinkle of intellect, with a bit of sprinkle of that Frost DK versus team 1. We got ourselves Athaman on that red Pala. Uranus. Perfect opportunity for me to make some jokes out of that one. Daedra, we got ourselves Warport as well as Jonas, Cam, D, and me. Short for Jonas. Fisher is going to be first up, getting into the link cap, and that's going to be building up the chi, not going for a leg sweep. Looks like a little bit of lag, and that's going to be big damage out of Jonas here pretty early on. Fisher hasn't popped the defensive for a disarm onto him. Both of these guys are kind of bouncing all over the place. Blood of the enemy coming out for Fisher. It's super hard to track what's going on with these two in duels because they're kind of both lagging. Jonas leaping out of the Fisher, trying to hold on to his karma. Gonna be interrupted on Jonas's meme beam. I'm not really sure why would you want to run meme beam, my man, but he decided to do it either way. Fish is still alive. Touch of death as he gets a little bit more health over the warrior. Hits him with a knockout. Still holding on to that karma. Warport is a Destro going to be next. That was super unfortunate with both Fisher as well as Jonas. Just kind of zooming all over the place, kind of lagging away. Fisher getting out of the Mortal Coil, not dodging the Infernal, however. That's going to be a fear that's going to slam him. Still holding on to Karma. One Chaos Bolt flying through him. Does he get the second one? He does get the second one. Karma as more Infernals joining the party for this one. Going to be Warport taking a lot of damage here with a wall coming up immediately. Burning through Karma fairly efficiently. Going to be another fear onto Fisher, but I think the Infernals are going to bust him out. Another Chaos Bolt, maybe one more needed. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive it. More Infernos coming down with that fear, and there's going to be so many Infernos coming in for Warport. That was not a 1v1. That was a 1v4 at the very least. And Ebib is going to take him out very quickly and efficiently with Warport having nothing really left. That last fear at the end with an Inferno coming down was awesome. That was enough damage to survive. And looks like Athaman is going to be up next on team 1 as we got us as Ebib, the Assassination Rogue, dropping down Atho into a kidney shot. Big Vendetta rolling, huge damage. Atho waiting out until Shield of Vengeance is going to be popping a Battle Master Trinket to increase his health pool just by a little bit extra just to survive this burst output. Ebib got quite a bit of dots onto Atho. Look at the damage. And that's going to be a blind as Atha goes in for a cleanse on all those dots. That was a Vendetta that Ebib is not going to be able to max out, but that's a nice reset for him without having to burn advantage. Still holding on to plenty of defenses. And Atha going to be down on Shield of Vengeance. That's going to be Wings with a heal. Right as he gets in with a kidney, Ebib is going to have to do more damage in order to get through all that heal that Atha has just gotten. Atha continuously cleansing the poisons before he goes for a massive heal. So for Ebib, it's going to be kind of difficult to really set up any kind of pressure because Athaman can cleanse it, especially if Ebib is not staying on top of Atha the whole time, reapplying those poisons aggressively. It's going to be giving Athaman a lot of opportunity to catch a lot of heals. Big wings coming down, and Ebib is going to get hit with a hammer. Hodge and Ebib taking out of kidney shot. Could be huge damage. Is the rogue going to go down? Vanishes and does make it out alive. Cloak comes out late. I believe the hammer still goes through that cloak, or at least he cloaked after the hammer, trying to make sure he could survive and get himself a reset. That was a lot of damage out of Atha. That could have been a blowout overall just now. Could have been huge damage there. Humongous. But Atha is going to have his wings down for the count for now. With, I think, a Visual Perfection's lowering the CDO on his wings. I would be surprised if Paladin did not run that. But it looks like Ebib, look at Atha's health. Looks like Ebib actually has quite a bit of pressure from just dots themselves. Just the dot pressure of this Assassination Rogue is doing well. I mean, just putting dots and getting maybe Azure procs at Atha, it is doing work. Atha does go for a big heal for himself. Ebib is going to be trying to see if he can get himself a bit of a reset. Kidney shot at Atha, trying to see if he can turn it around offensively as more wings come out for Atha. Either proc wings or minute-long wings. Ebib get hit with a Hodge, and I don't think he's going to survive that one as Atha slams him down with that hammer at the very end. Yandex is going to be up next as a Frost DK. Last time Athaman and Yandex fought each other in a duel, I believe Atha was actually just out healing everything from Yandex, and then I don't know where the Frost DK took it. Athaman is going into this duel with Bubble, with Shield of Vengeance, as well as a Blessing of Protection. Yandex does run the Nazat Trinket, which is something we don't really like to see in these duels. However, that is a tank trinket, and that not much we can do about if they end up using it. He's trying to leverage it. Blizzard has nerfed it multiple times. Is that nerf going to be enough? Huge hammer hanging over Yandex's head. Does go for anti-magic zone and AMS. Trying to heal through it with a Crucible of Flame. Safeguard trinket proc him as Atha does force that damage right after the hammer drops. Yandex does recover a little bit of health, but that was a lot of defenses getting used just now. And Atha's still holding on, strong lead with a massive set of wings. And still massive defenses available. Double stun onto Atha with Yandex going for Remorseless Winter on a town stun, which does work out for in his favor in order to get that double wombo combo. Very rogue-like style of cheap shot into a kidney shot. He drops him from a stun into the next stun, or like a kidney shot into a cheap shot more than anything. But he does get pretty long stun chains on him. That might give him enough pressure to build up the damage, build up the rotation, build up the damage out of Remorseless Winter, and really just hammering at Atha. There's Trigger coming out, and Atha looking like he's just gonna back away. And I think Yandex is actually might be a little bit, you know what, he got ways to heal himself. I was about to say Athaman has ways to just go behind the pillar, catch up on health. Yandex playing Crucible Flame Essence does allow him to heal himself. He can also pop Lichborn, which is I think on a 2-minute cooldown, unless I'm wrong about that. If he has enough runic power, Lichborn, and then just put in some death claws into your health. As it does count you as undead. Stuns getting traded by the both of them. Big hammer hanging over Yandex's head. Atha's still going for final verdict. That is with wings going to be a IBF out of Yandex trying to get out of that stun. That's going to be a hammer. Does a bit of damage, but not the biggest amount, as Atha did pop wings for that one. Going to be the zombie joining the fight. Probably going to go for a stun onto Atha. Most likely going to be a very DR stun. Atha is now immune to stuns for a short amount of time. Might be able to make something happen out of it. The wings are down for the Paladin, however, so just how much damage can they do? That's going to be another set of wings. I don't know if it's a minute long wings, maybe a random proc on wings. It looks like it was just a random proc of wings with the Vision of Perfection Major. Atha is a little bit behind on health. Might need to look at that heal. One word of glory, and he has stopped himself off. Not even wings up and running as he got himself fully caught up. Yandex is looking to catch himself a little bit of a reset away from Atha, dropping down anti-magic zone. That cooldown is back up on a 2-minute CD. He does have this massive defensive available. Blind by Atha, looking to maybe do as much holy damage while blind is up, and actually gonna kill him during the blind. The blind becomes a stun for a Paladin if they use it right, because the blind makes it where it does not break to holy damage. So Atha has quite a lot of holy abilities like Tempest Verdict in the big AoE. Daphne taking a ton of damage out of nowhere as a Shadow Priest trying to get for fear onto Atha. Might be a disperse right here. Breaks out of that fear. Trying to go for a Vampiric Brace. Is that going to be a Vampiric Brace and disperse? Big damage lined up for Athaman. Is that going to be enough for Daphne to survive? Trying to go for a Void Eruption. Hammer coming down, dropping him to half his health. Are they going to have to use disperse? Looks like they're surviving for now. Do go for a Shadow Mend with a silence on the Atha, trying to see if they can land a mind control. Do land an MC, and Athaman is just going to let it happen for the time being. Now, is Atha playing Relentless? No Trinket or Adaptation. I don't think Athaman is playing any Trinket anymore. As a Paladin, he's just going for as much aggressive play as possible. However, I could be proven wrong. We know he has a Battlemaster Trinket, and I think the other Trinket might be a Safeguard Trinket, but I don't think his health ever got low enough. Yo, Des, could you come out of stealth, by the way? Des, my man, my dude, can you come out of stealth and just chill in the room? Unless you're doing, appreciate you, fam, because otherwise, Athaman has no idea where you are, where you're gonna come out from. Yeah, go back. If you can go back to that room and just come out of stealth, just so Atha knows where you are. We like to do that with stealthies. If you're stealthy, come out of stealth just so you can see ya. As soon as Daphne is about to die, you're more than welcome to re-stealth to get an opener, but you gotta wait until Daphne is dead. That's going to be Athaman dropping down big hammer onto Daphne. It is going to be a disperse, as Atha's health is actually looking kind of low. This guy might have to go for a more of a defensive play, but could be a potential 1v5 by Athaman, which wouldn't be uncommon. Big stun by Daphne as he's still trying to continue to out-sustain Athaman. The DPs are allowing him to just maintain that self-heals. That's going to be Atha breaking that blind. Very unfortunate. Mind control getting interrupted as Atha does bring himself a little bit of momentum. Daphne could go for maybe even more damage, more DPs. Try to let them MC with that Siphon. Siphon does get taken out, but Atha does get pulled to the bottom of the pillar. And that's actually going to be Atha in a bad spot. Not a lot of health left, as he's actually could be dotted up while in MC. He could get dotted up while in MC. Not a lot he could really do, and just sit there and rot to the dots. That'd be super unfortunate. Daphne trying to get himself a better angle in case Athoman comes at him. As long as you can make as much distance between you and the Atho, it's perfect. Stun as Atho tries to go for a horse. It's going to be even better for Daphne to try to land that MC onto Athoman while the Ps are rolling. Athoman is making sure to dispel himself as much as possible. The mana isn't really looking all that great for him. So we'll have to wait and see how well it's going to go for Atho. He might have to get aggressive with his holy power spending. Just go for as many Word of Glories. And Daphne is just in a very, very comfortable spot right now with just a few seconds until disperses back up. Atho still holds on to immunities, however. So that is something he could leverage going into this duel. Bubble, using that strategically against Daphne could win. But I think he's also trying to set up for the next character that he's going to be going up against, the Rogue of Team 2. Daphne dropping a bunch of DP. Silence of the Atho. He's just trying to find himself on the side. That is a lot of pressure into a stun right after. Maybe it could be a bubble here. It's going to be Void Eruption by Daphne. Atho needs to make sure he doesn't bubble. Low shield advantage is available. Does get very close to Daphne. Should be a pretty big shield advantage. Slam into mind control onto Atho. Does go for a bubble with a disperse out of Daphne. Catching quite a bit of heals. Even a 35% dampener, boys. As Daphne recovers himself with some Shadowlands, Atho goes in for a flash of light, needs himself some line of sight just to make sure he's away from Daphne. It looks like that is a massive, massive cooldown out of Atho. Daphne survived it just fine. Actually, I think it's Daphne. Daphne? It's close. It's close enough. Now I'm looking at the letters themselves. It's like D, E, F, and E. Like an A, like last letter. It's kind of hard to explain it, honestly. Even me being Russian, so that's hard to explain. Silence of the Atho, gonna be mind control. And Daphne got quite a bit of dots bleeding on him. Is walking him into the eye. 5% extra damage. Daphne just trying to make the most out of this. Athoman is still struggling to survive. Struggling, but surviving. Is going to be catching up on a bit of that mana, though. Mana finally coming back. Might actually just want to wait until he wants to fight Daphne with full mana. So you can maybe peel behind the pillar, catch a couple of heals, come back in, not have to waste Word of Glories and the Holy Power. Athoman getting a blind into Daphne. He does break, and that's going to be... Actually, Daphne did trinket out of the blind. So nothing he has for a stun. Athoman could still probably lock this out. Daphne tried to lay up as many dots as possible while Furker races up. Big damage coming out. Daphne will not have a disperse. This way, I think it's going to be close. It's probably going to be done unless he gets a disperse right now. He is over, and the Rogue pops him. Bob available for Atho if he needs to. Slamming it right into the Rogue right now. Bob coming out to follow. Cloak of Shadows and Evasion available for Des. And Atho is just going for a massive, massive heals right after. This man is an almost juggernaut with Des. Going through a lot of their defenses pretty quickly. Blind onto Atho. He's still holding on to Shield of Vengeance. And Des with not a lot of health with only advantage available. Might want to go for either a very peeled back play, let Athoman catch up, or go for a very aggressive play. Use advantage with a garrote or a cheap shot and just try to see if they can dumpster Atho with every cooldown available. Vendetta has been used onto Atho, however, which is perfect for him. Des does get some damage rolling into Atho. Could be huge. Atho popping wings, going to be advantage for Des, catching up a little bit of heals. Atho popping shield advantage, so there goes that health recovery, which Des should have mitigated. He should have been controlling this health recovery. He's probably hoping he can win with dots alone, but I don't really know if the Rogue can do it without cooldowns. Next Hodge could be extremely deadly, and Des just letting Atho catch up on so much health. Let's start maybe going for advantage on very aggressive garrote with dots, and just maintaining the damage might be the best option. As it goes in, tries to go for a cheap shot. Atho actually gets away. Cheap shot does come out right after, so that was an extended CC for Des, which is good for him. But next Hodge could be extremely deadly. Des, is he prepared? Trying to go for damage. It's going to be waste for Atho with a final verdict. And down you go, as Atho does sustain himself through the whole enemy team. Massive damage, massive healing, taking out most of them. Actually, all of them, I think, right? Right, no. I think the one he didn't take out is the Monk. I think the Monk got, the Monk got hit by the Warlock. So that is Atho with the 1v4. I guess that duel did slip my mind, didn't it? All right, but let's just get another one going, yeah?